Hey Otters, I'm Ethan with Student Housing and Residential Life, and I am currently a lead student assistant in the department. Today, we'll be going over our new student application with you all. This video is meant for our incoming new students and incoming transfer students, so if you're currently living with us on campus, just disregard this video, but we'll have some very important reservations days information coming out soon. As always, I've included 3 points of contact information above my camera. The first is our username across all of our social media, the second is our email inbox, and then the last is our phone number for our main campus office. So on this application, we'll be focusing on our new all-campus eligible students. This classification means that you are eligible to live on any space on main campus and East Campus, but excluding first-year housing. I'll also be going over the differences between this application and the first-time freshman application, as they're very similar, just there's a few minor differences in between. Let's also please note that sometimes the application can be slow at times due to stress on the backend server, so we'd like to thank you ahead of time for being patient. Let's see, so this is the My Housing portal. If you haven't seen it before, you will be able to access this through the CSUMB.edu website on your student dashboard when you log in. And then just hit the option, this is My Housing, and it'll take you here. If you're a new student, you should be able to see the new student app tab, so go ahead and click on that. And this will take you to the term selector page. So this should be yellow for you, and it'll pop up for the academic year 2022 and 2023. So let's go ahead and hit continue. Awesome. So what's important to note is that we will be open for full capacity this coming 2022 and 2023 academic year. This means you will either have a roommate, suite mate, or apartment mate. Even if you're in a single bedroom in either North Quad, Promontory, or East Campus, you will still have a suite mate or apartment mate. So once again, it's important to note that you'll be sharing a space with other students this coming year, whether that be a common area or your actual bedroom if you're in a double or a triple. Another important item to note is that if you do want to cancel your license after moving into campus housing due to a COVID-19 concern, or just the fact that you're sharing a space with another student, this will not be grounds for a valid reason for cancellation this coming year. So go ahead and review all of this information. This is very important. I'll be saying that a lot throughout this application process. Now, getting away from housekeeping items, there are many benefits to living on campus. All of our options are close to classes and close to our main hub of campus where many food, events, recreational activities, and options are available. There's also free Wi-Fi, laundry services, cable TV, and other various amenities that you can view by visiting our website. So before I move on to the next page, there's actually, after this, there will be a payment page for you to actually access the application. So it's very simple. Just follow the instructions on the page. Overall, it's a $200 fee, so it's going to be a $150 prepayment fee. You can think of it almost like a deposit, and then the other $50 is just the base application fee. That one is non-refundable. So after you do that, you can pay through the application. You don't need to go on your Oasis portal or anything. So once you pay through that, just hit save and continue, and it'll take you to the actual welcome page. Awesome. So this is the actual welcome page. So as a reminder, make sure to review every page, especially the housing and dining license. We'll also be releasing a license overview series that breaks down every section of the license. But please make sure you understand what you're signing before you actually sign, either electronically or physically. I mean this in general as life advice because I think it's a very important skill to pick up. Moving on, if you're under 18 and filling this out, I think it's a very make sure to receive a parent or guardian signature. That's very important. Next, while there is no deadline to submit this, the longer you wait, the longer it will take for you to receive a housing assignment. There is also a freezing period in which any applications received starting August 1st, 2022 will be essentially put on hold for consideration of a housing assignment until after the fall 2022 move-in process has been completed. Again, this is for new incoming freshmen and transfers, so if you're living on campus, this information primarily does not regard to you. Now we can go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome, so here are some key license concepts that you should be aware of, and the full license will be available on the next page. Like I said before, we'll also be releasing a license overview series that will go through each section of the license. So let me go ahead and read the very key concepts right now. So the license fee period, this is section 2 in the license. The license fee period is effective academic year fall 2022 to spring 2023. Fee period is 9 a.m. Friday, August 19th, 2022 to 12 p.m. Sunday, May 21st, 2023. Keep in mind this is for the next academic year. Residents are responsible for the terms and conditions of the housing and dining license for the full fee period unless they meet and follow the license cancellation criteria outlined in Section 12H. Moving on, cancellation fees for Section 12 in the license. The deadline to cancel housing with no penalty and to receive their full $150 prepayment back is June 1st, 2022. After that, any applications canceled June 2nd, 2022 to August 18th, 2022 will incur a $150 cancellation fee. So starting on or after August 19th, 2022, applications canceled will then be subject to a $300 cancellation fee and potential prorated housing and dining charges. And that specific one is Section 12G2 in the license. Again, just reiterating, make sure to fully read the 2022 to 2023 Housing and Dining License Agreement on the following page, as you will be held to its terms and conditions once electronically signing the license. So we can go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome. So this is the Housing and Dining License Agreement. It's attached as a PDF. Again, we have the key ones here. But make sure it's a 26-page document, but it's broken down pretty concisely. So make sure to just read through it. To sign it, you'll be entering your 9-digit student ID number, which can be found on your Oasis under demographic information. I've already signed it, so you can hit save and continue at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the next section. Awesome. So these are the COVID guidelines and vaccination information. I'm just going to go ahead and read through this page. So to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases like COVID-19, please stay 6 feet distance away from each other. So that's about 2 arms length from other people. Make sure to cover your mouth, especially when you cough or sneeze. Either do your little vampire cough or a little dab cough, or you can cough or sneeze with a tissue. And then please throw that tissue in the trash and wash your hands or apply lots of hand sanitizer. Wear a mask when in public. Wear a mask over your nose and mouth. Avoid touching your face. Don't unless it's really itchy. Just try to avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth unless you have recently washed your hands. Just because there's a lot of germs on our hands, so we don't want them to go into the various orifices of our face. There's no cleaner way to say that, but just make sure you're avoiding touching your face whenever possible. Make sure to clean your objects and surfaces. Clean and disinfect frequently. Touch objects and surfaces, so door handles, anything in the common space in like a kitchen, kitchenettes, tables, chairs, stuff like that. Make sure to wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Just sing yourself the happy birthday song and you should be good while you're washing your hands. Quarantine if you're sick. Stay in your room when you're sick, except to get medical care. Yes. Next section, the COVID vaccination. So having the COVID vaccine is currently mandatory to live on campus unless you have a religious or medical exemption. This will be going on through the 2022 and 23 academic year. Please ensure that you complete the Otter vaccination registry to indicate your vaccination status. Completing the Otter vaccination registry is mandatory to live on campus and is a university requirement and process. Make sure you review the university webpage regarding the Otter vaccination registry for any questions you may have. Awesome. Now we can hit save and continue after you go ahead and check that you've indicated that you've reviewed and understand the information that we've shared with you above. So we can go ahead and hit save and continue here. Awesome. This next page will ask you to provide a reason for living on campus, and once you've done so, we can move on. So there's various reasons. So either you're a guardian scholar student, a student facing housing insecurity, a student enrolled in an academic program that requires in-person instruction. So if you have like any labs or anything like that, this would be the one for you. On campus or area employment, if you do receive an opportunity in your 2022-2023 year that requires you to either be on campus or close by to that position, then that would be this one for you. Or having an on-campus experience, it's totally understandable if you're in your first year of college and you want to get the whole shebang and I want to meet new people, I want to experience everything on the college campus. That would be the one for you. So let's just say I am a STEM major and I have labs that require in-person. I'm just going to go ahead and select that. Save and continue. So this next information will ask you for some more details about yourself. Most of it should be imported from Oasis. So if you're having trouble with that, or if you see something wrong there, please go ahead and change it in Oasis. Or if you're having trouble changing it, you can contact the campus service center. And you'll be able to find their phone number or email on the website as well. At the bottom, this is the very important part. At the bottom, it'll ask you if you require family housing. We're going to have a very specific family housing video, or at least an amendment that may come out after this. So please watch that or pay attention to that if you're interested in applying for family housing. Otherwise, hit save and continue. Awesome. So this next page just covers your emergency details. This is very sensitive and private information, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip over it because it has information about people that I know that I've listed as my emergency contact. So this is another very simple page. Basically, in case something happens to you, if we have to perform any type of welfare check, these are the people who we're contacting. So make sure these are people you really, really trust, whether that be parents, guardians, best friends, very close friends. So I'm just going to go ahead and go on to the next page, but that is generally information on what you're inputting on this one. So this next page is also very important. As students of CSUMB, you are protected under FERPA, or the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. Please read through this page, but in short, we are legally not allowed to disclose any information about you to anyone, not even your parents or guardians, without your express written consent or through an access code you create on your Oasis. There are very specific instances where your information may be shared, and that is a very hard may. The circumstances are if the university police department needs to do a welfare check, or if we need to provide it to state or federal educational authorities to determine your eligibility for financial aid. And this last one is the least common, but for conducting studies and doing research. Again, this is a very hard may. As a department rule, we generally do not share information with anyone outside of yourself. If you would like a parent, guardian, or designated third party to have access to your information, you can fill out a student consent form. This is linked here, or again, you can create an access code on your Oasis, which is located on your student dashboard when you log into CSUMB.edu. Again, please review this. There may be things I missed or things I skipped over just because I didn't think they were super important, but there's a lot of information here. Otherwise, hit save and continue. So this next section is just overall about meningitis health, information, and vaccination. So please read through this before going on to the next step. All the CSUs have to include this on applications. So just go ahead and review this and click the little checkbox at the bottom when just to indicate that you've understood all the information on this page. So go ahead and hit save and continue. Again, sometimes the application does take a little while just because of the server stress. We are constantly cycling through it, so it will take a little bit of while. So we'd like to thank you again for your patience. So now we're on to housing accommodations. If you are in need of a specific accommodation, please contact and work with Student Disability Resources, or SDR. That's their little acronym. This process can be extensive, so please jump on the train now instead of later. We've had instances of students where they started the process later and they weren't able to get the accommodations they needed at the right time, or we had to get it to them a little later just because of availability issues, so please start earlier rather than later. We will try our best to accommodate all of our students, but please note there is no guarantee that an accommodation will be reviewed or supported prior to receiving an assignment or prior to move-in. You can visit the SDR website on this page as well. Any service animals, including emotional support animals, must be registered with Student Disability Resources before you bring them to campus. You also have to receive written confirmation from our department as well, and you can be held accountable for any unapproved pet fine if there is an unapproved animal living in your space. Lastly, you need to make sure you're renewing your SDR accommodations every year if you have any. So this information is pertinent to actually everyone. So if you have a current existing SDR accommodation with us and with SDR, please make sure you're renewing that every year with them. Otherwise, it'll go away the next academic year. So please make sure, again, you're reviewing all of these. Let me go ahead and scroll all the way down. And then we can go ahead and hit save and continue. So moving on, we're at our Grad Guard section. So Grad Guard is a great program that we've partnered with to ensure all of our students' items are insured. All residents are automatically enrolled in Grad Guard. This program includes protection for all your belongings that are lost from theft, fire, smoke, vandalism, sprinkler head discharges, bursting pipes, you name it, and it's most likely covered under Grad Guard. More information will be sent out via email, but if you have any questions about Grad Guard, feel free to contact Grad Guard directly with the information provided here. If you want to cancel Grad Guard, it would be through them as well if you have any other sort of renter's insurance. So please check the box at the bottom of this page to acknowledge that you know that you're being automatically enrolled with Grad Guard through us. So go ahead and hit save and continue at the bottom. There we go. Awesome. So we want to make sure you're financially able to live on campus. So we provided a couple of resources you can use to plan ahead. The resources are we've linked our financial aid office, and we've also included a cost calculator as well in case you need to map out all of the costs for the next academic year. So go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome. So now we're on our living learning programs, or as we like to call them in the department, LLPs. So LLPs are programs run in your area of living that are meant to provide additional insight or perspective to your current studies. There's a bunch listed here, so feel free to read through them and see where you can enhance your learning experience on campus. Keep in mind that if you're a first-time freshman, then you will only see first-time freshman LLP descriptions that you are eligible for. So for example, we have like our second year success one. So obviously first year freshmen will not be able to see that one. We have our Africana Heritage Scholars LLP, LGBTQA+ Scholars LLP, Global Perspectives, Health and Wellness, Sustainable Otters, and we also have a Transfer Community LLP. Now, though, there's some that are specifically only for first-time freshmen, so that page will look slightly different. So let's go ahead and hit save and continue. Again, there's more information on our LLP website that was linked there. So on this page, you can tell us whether you would be interested in living in an LLP or not. Even if you select no, please put down at least 3 preferences since you may be placed in an LLP due to space availability. If you're a first-time freshman filling this out, you'll only be able to see first-time freshman LLPs on this page and be able to select first-time freshman LLPs. So again, it'll look slightly different. I've already filled in my 3 preferences. Again, this will look different for you based on what you choose and what you feel like will enhance your learning experience. So let's go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome. Now we're at the part where you can put down your room preferences. This is most important for our new students, such as first-time freshmen and transfer students, since obviously you're filling this out and you're not directly participating in our reservation days process in your incoming year. Um, let's see. Even if you are planning to participate in reservations days, it's important that you kind of take note of this section. Because there's actually new options to select from, specifically in East Campus, since we're changing up those options a little bit. So select at least 8 preferences here, but if you're a first-time freshman, you'll only be able to select 2, which will be Residence Hall Double and Residence Hall Triple. So I've already have my 8 preferences, so going all the way down to the bottom of the page, we do offer a super single option on main campus. And what basically, if you're interested, you may be offered to the option to buy out the other spaces or just singular space if you're in a double in your room at an additional cost if this becomes available. Let's also please note that Area 2 on campus is an all academic level residence hall area, which is why it is an option for all undergraduates applying. So if you're a transfer student, you should be able to sign up for Area 2. So we're going to go ahead and hit save and continue now. Awesome. So if you're eligible for East Campus, you'll see this East Campus pet request page. If you're not eligible for East Campus, skip this section and go ahead and move on to the next timestamp or just next section in the application. This is different from the service animal and ESA page, as this is a separate process just for East Campus. Even if you have registered for a service animal with SDR, you still need to do this process. You are limited to 2 pets per apartment in East Campus, and those are limited to 2 small dogs or cats, or 1 small dog and 1 small cat. If your dog exceeds 50 pounds, you'll only be able to bring that 1 dog. So let's see. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the timeline. So the deadline to submit this request is June 30th, 2022, and decision emails will be sent out by July 5th, 2022. Roommate agreements regarding the pets will be due by July 31st, 2022, and the second round of decision emails will be sent out by August 12th, 2022. The pet deposit is $250 and will be posted and needs to be paid before August 19th, 2022. If you are still interested in bringing your pet to East Campus, then select yes in the drop-down menu. I'm going to go ahead and select yes just so we can see what it looks like. Again, if you do have any other questions, feel free to DM us on any of our social media, so at CSUMBhousing. You can email us at student_housing@csumb.edu, or you can just email us at studenthousing@csumb.edu. They both go to the same inbox. If you want to talk to one of our student assistants over the phone, that phone number is 831-582-3378. That's our main campus office. If you would like to talk to an SA in our promontory office, that's going to be 831-582-5470. Yeah, so we're, like I said before, it does get a little bit slower. It just has to populate all the information. Awesome. So now that we're here, you'll just need to provide your pet's name, type, breed, age, weight, and whether they've been spayed or neutered, if they're friendly to other pets, and their rabies vaccination expiration. In terms of uploaded documentation, let me go ahead and scroll all the way down. You'll need to provide a clear and current photo of your pet, a clear and current photo of your pet with their collar and tag showing, your contact information, and their current rabies vaccination. So lastly, just check the box if you agree as a licensee with us to only bring your pet once you have received written approval from us to do so for the academic year. I'm just going to go ahead and just skip over to the next section. Apologies. The next section will actually be meal plans. Awesome. So make sure you review section 21 of the license for terms and conditions for the meal plan. So let me go ahead and scroll down a little bit. If you're a first-time freshman, you'll only be able to see and select one of 3 meal plans. So it's going to be the first 3: the Otter 7 days, the Otter 5 days, and the Otter 225. For all of our other undergrad and transfer students, you'll be able to see the rest of these, but if you're an undergrad student placed in Area 2, you'll only be able to see the first 3 as well. So Otter 7 days, Otter 5 days, and Otter 225. If you're living in North Quad, Promontory, East Campus, you're eligible for the rest of these plans as well. And if specifically you're living in Strawberry, Promontory, or our East Campus apartments, then you'll be eligible for voluntary meal plans, which are not listed here. As our office does not assist with voluntary meal plans, but can actually be found on Oasis. Strawberry, Promontory, and East Campus apartments are also eligible to opt out of their meal plans. So you can, let me scroll all the way down. So if you are assigned or thinking about living in those areas, you will have the option to choose yes to opt out of a meal plan. Just to reiterate, the question asks, if assigned to an area that does not require you to have a meal plan, would you like to opt out of a meal plan? Please hit yes if you want to opt out. We've had some students misread the question and accidentally put no, so make sure you put yes to this question if you want to opt out of it. Let's go ahead and hit save and continue. So this next page deals with your roommate matching profile. It's really important to note that the answers you include here are what helps us match you with a great roommate or help you find great roommates on the following pages. You will need to answer these questions honestly so that there are little to no surprises when you meet your roommates in person. Again, this is more sensitive information, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip over to the next page. Awesome. So this section is very, very important. This is our gender inclusive housing page, and I'm just going to go ahead and read through it all. So in order to better serve the diverse needs of our on-campus student population and provide a safer, more inclusive living environment for all students, Student Housing and Residential Life has created gender inclusive housing. Gender inclusive housing was brought to CSUMB with the goal of creating environments for students across all the gender spectrum to feel safe, included, and welcome within their housing community. This option is available in all of our campus housing areas. More information can be found on our gender inclusive housing page. Let's see. And then, so this is a drop-down menu here, so you would indicate whether you would or would not like to have gender inclusive housing. And then we can go ahead and hit save and continue. So if you selected yes to gender inclusive housing, it'll open up this next page where you'll provide a couple answers so we can review your responses and requests for gender inclusive housing. Please note that this option is not meant for couples or straight cisgendered friend groups to live together on main campus, but rather is solely meant for students across the gender spectrum to feel safe within their living spaces. So let's go ahead and hit save and continue. You'll just provide specific reasons and how comfortable you are with gender inclusive housing if you've selected yes to the previous page. So after hitting save and continue, it'll take us to web profile. So web profile, very simple. It'll ask if you would like to be part of the search process and ask for a brief description of yourself. Ask for your screen name so when potential roommates search for you, you can pop up. Even if you hit no on the roommate search process, you will still be able to join roommate groups. So that's very important to note. Selecting yes to this option just means that anyone will be able to scroll and kind of find you on the application. So let's go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome. So roommate groups are the next part of the application. I just briefly mentioned them. So please note that you are not required to make or join a roommate group, and this is only for students who already know who they want to live with or are interested in creating a roommate group with other students with similar living habits. Here are some good things to note. You can only find potential roommates that have also completed a 2022-2023 new student application. You can only find potential roommates that have the same classification as you, and then it'll list your classification here. So if I am a new all-campus eligible student, I'm only able to request and find potential roommates that have that same classification. So if I wanted to room with someone that is new main campus eligible, I will not be able to find them. You can only find potential roommates that have the same gender-inclusive housing response as you. So if your response was yes, you'll only be able to find other students who said yes. You can only find roommates that have not created or joined another roommate group. You can only be found or join a roommate group if you have not created a roommate group on your own. And then you can use the links below to search for potential roommates. So they're not actual links, but you'll be able to see them all the way at the bottom of the page. And here's what they mean. Just go ahead and review that. If you're having trouble locating potential roommates, please contact our office at studenthousing@csumb.edu with the first and last name of the other students you're trying to find. So the priority roommate group deadline is Sunday, April 24th, 2022. Students can still make and join roommate groups after April 24th, but there may be less of an opportunity for your roommate group to be assigned together. Creating or joining a roommate group by or after April 24th, 2022 does not guarantee that you will be assigned with those in your roommate group, as roommate assignments are based on availability and other application preferences. Let's see. Let's go ahead and hit save and continue here. So we're almost done now. This part is for incoming freshmen and transfer students. For those of you participating in reservations days, just go ahead and ignore this and just wait for the reservation days information to come out. So you'll now choose your assignment preference, whether it's with your roommate group in your preference LLP or with your preference room type. Please note that your selective preference here does not guarantee we'll be able to accommodate your most desired request, but it gives us a better idea of where you would like to be placed. So go ahead and hit save and continue. Awesome. So you'll get this very scenic view of a sunset on the main quad, but this is just asking you to submit your application and thanking you for applying. So let's go ahead and hit submit. And you're all done. So the information on this page is mainly meant for incoming freshmen and transfers, but everyone should look over the freezing period again. Again, for returning students and those participating in reservations days, please keep a lookout for lots of more information coming in the future, and this will regard time slots, room selection, and much more information. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop it here. So if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with your fellow Otters. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below or contact us with information above my camera like before. Otherwise, stay happy, stay healthy, and we're looking forward to having you on campus with us next year.